talk about addition with regrouping. So I have my two numbers here that I'm adding, and I have them shown here with my blocks. So I have 45, so 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, and then I have 69. I have 6 tens and 9 ones. That's what makes 69. So whenever we add and when we subtract and multiply, we always have to start with our ones place. So if you're not totally sure about what that looks like, what your ones and tens place is, we could draw a line right here and label these as ones and these as tens. And we could do the same thing right here. These are our ones, these are our tens. So, like I said, we have to add our ones first. And when we're adding, we're pushing our numbers together. So I'm gonna come up here, I'm gonna just push all these numbers together, and then we can add them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 ones. Now I'm gonna write the number 14 over here so that we can see it. And I'm going to label here my ones and my tens. Now, right away, I see a problem because I can't write 14 down here because if you see, there's only one digit in our ones place. We can't put 2 digits in our ones place because look at this. This right here, it's not a 1, it's a 10. And tens do not want to hang out in the ones place. They want to hang out with the tens. So this right here, it's not going to work. So whenever we have more than 9 ones, we have to swap it out for a 10. Let me show you. We're going to count out 10 ones here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these 10 ones, we're going to push them over here. We're going to get another 10. So then we can see right here we have 1 10. We have 4 ones. And that makes 14. Now, we're going to leave our 4 ones down here in our ones place. And I'm going to write the number as well. And then we're going to take this 10, and it doesn't want to stay down here with our ones. It wants to move. So we're going to move it up here. Or in our problem, we're going to move it up here. And you're also going to write a 1 right there. Now, we've added our ones. We're good there. So now we need to add our tens. So again, when we're adding, we're going to push them together. So we have now, we can count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we have to add this 10 in as well. So we have 11. We have 11 tens. Whew, boy. Now, if you've done some place value before, you might know, just in the same way that 10 ones makes 1 10, 10 tens makes 100. And we can actually see that. If we put these here, we can see that they line up to make 100. This is just 10 blocks all pushed together, and it makes 100. Now, here's the thing. Just like the ones and the tens and the hundreds, they can't be stuck together. They have to be in their own place value. And the hundreds do not want to hang out with the tens. So I'm going to take these 10 tens that I have, I'm going to swap them out for my 100. So now I have 100 and I have 110. And like I said, we can't take both of these and stick it down here together. It's not going to work out. We've got to take our 100 and move it over here into our hundreds place. And then we can leave our 10 here. So remember when we added here, we got 11 tens. And we could label that ones and tens. So we're taking, not ones and tens, sorry. That was my fault. Tens and hundreds. So we're going to take our 110, we're going to leave it here. And then we're going to take our 100 and we're going to move it over. Because this over here, we could label it, is our hundreds place. So now we have 100 and we can bring it all the way down. We can put our 100 in our hundreds place. And then we have the number 114. So I'm going to show you another problem now without the blocks. But you can keep this in mind as you are as you're solving these problems. You should be thinking about how these are tens, ones, and hundreds and how they are working together, just like we can see them with our blocks. So let's take a look at this one. Let's do 74 plus 30, no, let's do 46. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna always start in our ones place. And then we have our tens. So we have our ones and tens. We're gonna start right here in our ones place. So 6 plus 4, oh, that's easy if you know your tens partners. 6 plus 4 is 10. So I'm gonna look over here. I'm gonna split up my number. And I see that the number 10 has 0 ones, which we're gonna put in our ones place, and it has 1 10, which we're gonna move over to our tens place because our tens wanna hang out with our tens. Now that we've done that, we can add our tens because we're done with our ones now. Now we can move on to our next place value, which is our tens. So if I look at this, I see 7, 1, and a 4. We have to add all of those numbers. If you just add your 7 and your 4, you forgot about our little 10 that we moved up here. You've got to add him on too. So, I could use one of my addition strategies that I thought of. I know that 7 needs 3 more to become 10. So I'm going to add 3 here. I'm kind of doing this a little bit backwards. And then I'm going to take 3 away from my 4. So 4 minus 3 is 1. And 7 plus 3 is 10. So then I have 10 and 1. So that makes 11. And then I have to add 1 more on, which is 12. So 7 plus 4 plus 1 is 12. Now, if I look at my 12, remember, I have 12 tens. So if I have 12 tens, that means I have 2 tens and 100. We could look at that. Let me show you that because this one is a little bit more tricky than our tens and our ones. So let me count out 12 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I have 12 tens right here. Now, if I look at this, and I'm gonna remember that 10 tens makes 100. So if I look, I'm gonna take my hundreds block here, I'm gonna line it up like this, and I see, turn it this way, might be better. I can see that my 10 tens are the same as my 100. And then I have 2 left over. So this is my 100 and my 2 tens left over. So that means just the same way that we did with our tens and our ones, we're gonna leave our 2 tens in our tens place, and we've gotta take our 100, we gotta move it over into our hundreds place. And I'm gonna split that and label it. So then I can add my hundreds, but there's nothing else to add, it's just 1. So then we end up with the number 120. I'm gonna show you one more example that gets even bigger. Because in 3rd grade, we do a lot of bigger numbers. So I'm gonna show you one more here. Let's do this one. Let's do 476 plus 395. Actually, let's change this one to 500. Now, we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're going to start in our ones place, and we're going to add. I'm gonna label all my places just so I'm sure I'm working in the right one. So, look at this double strategy I have. 5 plus 5 would equal 10, and 6 is just 1 more, so that's gonna equal 11. I'm gonna draw it over here and label it. My ones are gonna stay in my ones place. My 10 is gonna move to my tens place. Then, this is an easy one because I see right away a tens partner. 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 7 more is 17. So look at this. That means I have 17 tens. And right away, I see that I have 10 tens, which is going to equal 100. And then I'm going to have 7 tens left over. So if I put 17 tens blocks, these tens blocks out, I could see that 10 of them would equal 100, and then I would have 7 left over. Now, just the same way that I did with my tens and my ones, my tens want to stay in my tens place, my hundreds is going to move over to my hundreds place. Now, this is what was different from before. Before there was nothing else to add in our hundreds place, but now there is. And look at this, I see another tens partner because 1 plus 4 is 5, and 5 plus 5 is 10. So that's going to equal 10 in my hundreds place. Now, oh my goodness, I have 10 hundreds. 10 hundreds. So I'm going to split this up. and let me show you what this looks like. 10 hundreds. Ooh, that's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at all these stacked up here. Got a lot of hundreds blocks here. I have 10 hundreds blocks. Now, if I take, this is a thousands block, and I put it right next to it, it might be a little hard to see from the top, but they are exactly the same size because 10 hundreds equals 1,000, and that's our next place value, is our thousands place. So, using this, I see that I have now taken my hundreds, my 10 hundreds, I've swapped it out for my thousands. So that means I have 0 hundreds now, and all I have is 1,000. I don't have any hundreds left in my hundreds place, but I do have 1,000 that has moved over into my thousands place. So then I have to add my thousands, and there's just a 1 there. So I bring it down, and then I can count 1, 2, 3, comma, and I have the number 1,070. So even if you get bigger numbers than this, you can just keep doing the same thing, because every time you get 10 of whatever place value you're working in, 10 ones, 10 tens, 10 hundreds, 10 thousands, you just move up to the next place value. And if you have a 10, you've got to move it over to the next place value, because it doesn't want to hang out with the lower one. It wants to move up and be with its friends and its place value.